guys, welcome back. So, this video was supposed to be up last week, but I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I did have a video completely filmed, it was edited, it was ready for upload, but then I kept getting contacted by a lot of people who are either acquaintances of either the women involved in the situation, people who have worked with them. I've heard from quite a few people, and I'm gonna talk about what they've told me a little bit later on in this video. But the past few days, I'm gonna be honest, have been wild, and I mean insane. It's been crazy in the sense that I've had Huns all of a sudden, as of like recently, Huns commenting dumb shit on my YouTube videos about their respective, companies they work for, MLM companies they work for. I've even had a weird ass tribe member, like, out of nowhere find me somehow on Snapchat, just to tell me that we need to respect Kim, who is honestly the ringleader of this entire situation. This person made a point to contact me on Snapchat, of all places, to tell me and the rest of us that we need to respect Kim. But that to me was like the biggest waste of oxygen, your time, energy, because I have no respect for anyone involved in the situation. I mean, you went as far as making Kim into the victim when she is far, far away from being the victim, but it is what it is. You expect us to have respect for Kim when she has no respect, not even for you guys, her tribe members, the people who have made her a lot of money when buying all the bullshit that she shills on her Facebook page and elsewhere. You expect us to respect her? No, respect is earned, not just given out, first and foremost. But more than that, she hasn't earned respect in any way, shape, or form from anybody. Had she just come out and said, you know what, yes, this was all a scam, yes, this was fucked up, I apologize, we haven't heard any of that. She has no respect for any of you, and I'll get further into that later in the video, but no. I mean, if you guys read the comments underneath her post on her Facebook page, it was the post on her Facebook page in which she gave that statement, that bullshit ass statement about her involvement and everything and how she tried to paint herself into the victim. You watched her turn on one of her own. I mean, the screenshot is right here. The main reason I believe she doesn't respect any of you, including her tribe members, is because the moment you try to bring up a valid question about any part of the situation, which you should be doing, by the way, you are allowed to ask questions, especially when these two women asked you to donate your hard-earned money to this bullshit ass scam, which is what, to me, based off everything I've seen and not seen, that's exactly what this was. You're allowed to ask questions, but the second that you do, she blocks you or goes after you, or her tribe goes after you, or they both tag team you and go after you and try to make you feel bad for questioning anything that she says. She has no respect for any of you. It doesn't matter how long you've followed her or how much money you've spent on her. Clearly, like you guys just saw in that thread. But if you saw this thread and you watched sweet, sweet Kim, who is so worthy of respect, basically, along with her tribe members, gaslight, belittle, discredit, and shame this woman to the point where she apologized for having valid points and asking a valid question. That is not someone who respects any of you. What was even funnier to me was when we watched Kim in that thread alone go from very defensive, very angry and upset, calling names, belittling, discrediting, gaslighting, to after when this person apologized, then she goes to, I'm so sorry for your loss, I'm sorry for this, we welcome you here, we welcome you that. Only then when this woman submitted to you, Kim, did you give a fuck about being kind and courteous to her. You are the fakest person on this fucking planet, and it's so sad to watch people still support you, but hey, it is what it is, right? This is not a woman who is worthy of respect, to be quite honest. So, to Miss Lauren, who is the person who reached out to me on Snapchat thinking that you were doing something with that, who the fuck are you, Miss Lauren, to go around demanding respect from people for someone who has little to no respect for any of you. Also, Kim is not a victim in this. She can paint herself as one, she can do whatever she can to try to distance herself as someone who was part of this instead of being a victim. But those of us with a brain and with common sense, no beads needed, we can see that she is very, very much involved in all of this. So now, I don't want to spend the majority of this video talking about Kim because, quite frankly, I'm pretty sure we all know the kind of person that Kim is. She's exhibited some very nasty behavior as of recently because of all this being brought to the light. We've all seen it live. But the person I want to specifically talk about in this is the person that really and truly, I mean, Kim was the ringleader, yes. I mean, come on, she was telling Casey what to say, what not to say, especially in the live stream. We watched her say, literally, you don't have to answer that question. You don't have to answer this question. You don't have to disclose that information.
What we're going to do is I'm going to let her talk in just a second, but I want to go over a few things quickly, okay? So the first thing is we cannot give the location of the hospital. We cannot talk about the girls' names. We have to be extremely, extremely vague. And the reason we do that is because they are wards of the state. Just real briefly tell about how they're segregated and how they literally have nothing. There's no television. Well, you provided one. Television. But, you know, they are in absolute end of life care.
Yes, and they are terminal. I know several people are asking how much that I owe.
That you do not have to disclose that. I know you.
Let me interrupt. Can you tell them that how the girls are? Just give a brief background that they're wards of the state, end of life, that kind of thing.
Okay.
Terminal, going through chemo, just a real generic, brief background, just so they understand when you say they pass away the ramifications of what that means.
In today's video, I want to try to focus on Casey because Miss Casey has kind of flown under the radar for the last few months. She's kind of kept quiet. No one's been able to get in contact with her. Kim alleges that she's not been able to get in contact with her for months. Whether or not that's true, I have no idea. But then again, I don't believe anything that Kim says, so I wouldn't be surprised if they have been in contact, but that's just me. She's kind of flown under the radar. At least she wants you to believe that she really hasn't been active. But in the last few days, like I said earlier, I've been in contact with people who are either close friends with Casey who have come forward, people who are acquaintances with Casey, or people who are okay enough friends with her to the point where she feels comfortable divulging all sorts of information to these people. They've all come forward. And honestly, it's been a very eye-opening experience talking to all these people and getting the inside scoop about what she's been up to the last few months. Now, obviously, these people have all requested to stay anonymous, which is perfectly fine with me. I have no issue with that. I greatly appreciate each and every single one of you who came forward, including the tribe members. Thank you guys so much, and the elite members as well. People who are elites and unique. You guys, I know that I've been very vocal against unique, and I still stand by every single word that I've said, but I appreciate that you guys have stepped forward and gave me some information as well to use in today's video. Now, the very first thing that everyone wanted to make very, very clear was that this behavior, what we've seen Casey involved in, this is something that is wildly different from what they expect of her. This is not the norm for her. This is not something that they would expect to come from her, they said. But unfortunately, that's the thing when it comes to situations like this. It's usually always the ones that you wouldn't expect to behave like this that unfortunately do things like this, because without a history of lying and scamming, without a history of, you know, this type of behavioral pattern, you wouldn't expect someone like Casey to do things like this. But unfortunately, because of that, that's the perfect reason that they do things like this, because they think, okay, well, no one would ever suspect me of being guilty of this. But in the end, guess who it is? All these people also say that not once, not a single time, not even in passing, did Casey ever mention the existence of any girls at any hospitals anywhere that she was volunteering with. Not once did any of them hear about things like this, which is very strange because in her video, she even says that her community is very, very helpful.
I live in a great city. I live in a great town. They're very, they supported Chase immensely. They would, they just was wonderful.
I imagine that this community would involve these people, Casey, who are closest to you, friends and family, and they've all said, and I actually, you know what, I'll quote someone right now, all of us keep trying to figure out what the fuck she was thinking, because clearly she's a lying liar. And the thing is, let's just say she needs financial help for something. There's no need to lie. She has a compelling story, and she has lots of friends who would, at the least, speak up for her and try to get her help. Her local paper did a story a few years ago on the community helping out with blank, which they had the name of her son there, and I really hope they follow up about this because it's so fucked up. That's true. This is a very fucked up thing to do, but this person even backed what you said in that live stream and said, listen, this community has rallied behind you before, so why you would have to go through something like this is beyond anyone's mind. We have no idea why anyone would be involved in this, but especially, Casey, you. Now, while you weren't telling people about the girls, you apparently were telling people about you volunteering at a hospital called Barnes Jewish Hospital. So I called, and this is what the volunteering department had to say. Anyways, I'm going to go ahead and now make the phone call. So let's go ahead and get into it, shall we?
Thank you for calling Barnes Jewish Hospital. This is, how may I help you?
Hi, I'm calling, I don't know who I'm supposed to talk to, but I was wondering if you guys had a volunteer department.
Yes, ma'am, we do.
You do have one? Can I be directed to them, please?
Sure, one moment.
Thank you.
Volunteer office.
Hi, good morning. I'm calling because I just have a few questions. I'm hoping you can help me with the situation. I was given the name of someone who was telling people that she was volunteering at your hospital, and she was collecting funds for patients at your hospital. I was hoping you could confirm that this person does indeed volunteer at the hospital, because she's being very vague about the hospital, the name of the hospital, and all that kind of stuff. Would it be possible for you to confirm a name for me, or would there be someone else I could speak to for that?
I mean, I can check to see if I have her on file, but
Okay.
Let me ask you this.
Yes.
And I'll say this because there are several, depending on what she says, there are several Barnes Jewish hospitals.
Okay.
Okay. Now, let me ask you this. Did she say which one? There's one in Central West End, there's one in West County, there's one in St. Charles. They're all called Barnes Jewish. They're called, one is Barnes Jewish West County, one is Barnes Jewish, which is in the Central West End.
Okay.
One is Barnes Jewish Progress West. So it all depends on, I can tell you if she's at mine or not. She may be at another one, but
Okay. Well, I've been told through people who are close to her that this was the one that she was volunteering at, this one specifically.
What's the name?
Goes.
Her last name is, what is it? Spell it for me.
It's
Okay, let me see. Whose name comes up? Not in my. Let me see. And her first name is, what's her first name?
nothing in your system?
No, not in my system.
Okay. I wrote that down. I just have a couple more questions too. For qualifications for a volunteer, would someone with a child endangerment and second degree charge be a disqualifier for a volunteer at your facility?
It could be.
Okay. But it's not something that's definite, that there's no way.
I can't tell you because we go through HR when those come up, so it just depends.
Okay. Are volunteers restricted to certain wards in the hospital? Like they can't go in like the palliative care wards or hospice, or are they allowed to do whatever they're needed to do?
They can volunteer on any nursing unit. They just can't go into isolation.
Okay.
Isolation rooms, and some floors they have to be trained on.
Okay.
They have to go through another training.
Okay. Are volunteers allowed to bathe patients at all, whether it be an adult patient, a child
No.
patient? Not at all?
No.
Okay.
No.
Okay. I guess that's the only questions I have for you for right now. But I was, again, this situation that I'm looking into, people have been donating to this woman who claimed to be volunteering at a hospital, and I was told by people close to her that it was your facility, money for children who are sick and end-of-life care.
And here's the thing, we are not a children's hospital.
Okay.
So I can't say for sure if that is it. Now, we do have a children's hospital that is connected to us.
Okay.
But is a separate hospital. Most people think it is one and the same, but it is not.
Okay.
It is its own entity.
What would the name of that hospital be?
That name of that hospital is St. Louis Children's Hospital.
St. Louis Children's. Okay.
Which is a part of the BJC.
Okay.
Part of BJC's entities. And a lot of people think that it is Barnes Jewish. It is not. It is a separate hospital. We are just very connected.
Okay. Understood. All right. Well, I thank you so much for your time and your cooperation. Hopefully we can get this figured out. Thank you again.
Sure. No problem.
Thanks. Bye-bye. Now, as you guys just heard the woman say, there are actually multiple locations with the same name, and there's actually an affiliated hospital that's actually a children's hospital called the St. Louis Children's Hospital, which I also called. I called all the hospitals with the same name and the St. Louis Children's Hospital, and not one person could verify that you actually were a volunteer at any of those locations. And just to clarify, I did make phone calls to pretty much all hospitals or medical centers in and around the area that she was in, even in St. Louis, and no one could confirm that someone by your name, Casey, your full name, had volunteered there at any point in time. So I'm going to offer you once again, my DMs are open. I don't have you or Kim blocked anywhere. If you maybe have like a badge or something with your picture on it, with your name on it, the name of the hospital on it, maybe you can get a letter from the head of the unit that you volunteered at with the girls where they were at. Get a letter with a letterhead from the hospital, the number, someone I can call and refer to and talk to about the situation and confirm everything with. I'll be happy to take any of that information and clear your name, because I don't want to believe that, especially Casey, someone like you in your position, someone who just lost their child, something that I could never ever imagine in my entire life. I can't imagine what you went through. I don't want to believe that you would do what's been done. I don't want to believe this is all fake. I don't want to believe this is a scam. I don't want to believe that someone in your position who just lost a child to cancer would be capable of using sick cancer patients, these girls who are in absolute end-of-life care, according to both you and Kim, because Kim even backed you up when you said that. You use this lie to get money from people for these headstones. I don't want to believe this, but judging from what I've seen and what I've looked into and what I wasn't able to confirm, what I was able to confirm, you look really guilty. Unfortunately for you, you look guilty. And I know this is already a long shot as it stands, but just in case, if you're able to provide me with all that information, maybe you can also provide me with the grand total of all the funds that were collected on that Cash App for that campaign, that specific campaign, the Our Girls 444. If you can give me a grand total of what was collected alongside a chart or a list of where that money was used, I would like to see the totals adding up. And I'm hoping to see that if you did use that money, it all went to these girls or for products for them. But then again, that would involve you verifying that these girls are real patients, and that would involve you getting a letter from the hospital, again with a letterhead, with a name and a number of someone I can call and talk to about this to confirm your story. That is what I'm asking for. If you can provide that for me, we're golden. Now, Kim had mentioned in her statement that she's had no contact with Casey. She found it very difficult to get a hold of Casey, but what's really weird about that is that Casey has been very active lately. As a matter of fact, one of the sources closer to her have confirmed to me with a screenshot of her profile that she's been posting over the last few weeks on her Facebook, like every day to every other day, maybe even sometimes once a week. She's still active on Facebook. So to me, the fact that she has been active on Facebook over the last few weeks, that just makes her like even more guilty, because it's not like she's trying to hide herself. She's literally been out and about posting whatever. She's literally just ignoring everyone, kind of like what Kim has been doing, blocking people who are asking questions, ignoring the subject, not answering questions, and being blunt about ignoring questions that she does not want to answer. They're doing the exact same thing, just in different ways. I also don't believe, Kim, that you are blindsided by this at all. I know that was the purpose of your statement, was to make it seem like you had no idea what was going on, that you have no idea what's going on at this moment with Casey. You don't know what to do or who to talk to or who to tell your own tribe members who have asked you for information on who to report things to. You've given very vague answers to that. But the fact of the matter is, I would think that since the live stream was done, I think in South Carolina where Kim is, at Beau Stegal's, I'm pretty sure it was at his headquarters for his business, I would report it to where it was filmed. I'm going to ask my legal experts to weigh in on where these people should report this fraud to, because it's essentially what it's been exposed as with everything coming forward. Especially, this has been exposed as a fraud situation. So would the donators report to wherever the live stream was filmed at, specifically in the town it was filmed at, or would they report it to where Casey is now? Leave your legal expertise down below and try to help people, please. If I can ask that from you guys. I know it's not your place to do this, but unfortunately it's been proven that Kim has no intention of helping anyone. She doesn't give a fuck, neither does Casey. So I'm trying to do what I can to give you guys some information. So if any legal experts can shed some light on the situation, that would be awesome. But going back to what I was saying, Kim, you pride yourself, you know what, I'm going to play devil's advocate here. You pride yourself on being a boss babe, a businesswoman. Do you not? Isn't that one of the things that you're so proud of yourself about, that you are the sole provider for your family? Because that's what you said in live streams. You are the sole provider for your family, right? So as such, I would imagine that if I had someone come to me with a story like Casey's, I would do my due diligence to look into everything, to verify things, to make sure that what this person is saying, regardless of how long I've known this person, I want to make sure that I'm protecting not only myself and my business, but the people who buy from me, my supporters, the reason I still have my business, the reason I'm still able to feed my children and my family and clothe them and have a roof over their head. I would want to make sure that we are all taken care of, and that involves you doing what you're supposed to be doing and doing your due diligence to look into things and verifying things, confirming that what this person is saying is correct. Because now not only did you get yourself into the situation, you're also bringing in Beau Stegal, who is someone that you work for with his hair care products or whatever. You're bringing in other companies now because you represent these other companies. Anyone who is a business owner, a true business owner, would think, you know what, before I give this person access to my thousands of obviously very gullible followers, let me make sure that what this person is saying is correct and it's actually true. Now, what's even funnier to me is that you and your tribe have referred to those of us who are on Reddit as these basement dwelling trolls. You call us trolls, you call us people who live in our parents' basements. You've called us so many different names and tried to discredit everything that's been brought forward against you. But with this one statement, when you're addressing everything, you just proved us all to be 100% correct about you. And you exposed yourself as a liar. And what excites me, Kim, is the fact that I've had so many of your tribe members, even the most devout tribe members, and they've shown me screenshots of all the money they've invested in you and the different companies that you represent on your Facebook page. They've shown me how much they've spent on you and put money into your pocket. Your most devout tribe members are starting to wake up and realize that not everything that we're saying in that Reddit forum is a lie. I mean, they've even come forward to me and said how toxic your community is on your Facebook page. I know that you like to say that your community is very open, everyone's very honest and forthcoming and forgiving and kind and all this bullshit, but I don't know if you know this or not, but there are a lot of people who follow you, Kim, who only agree with what you're saying for fear of you retaliating against them and going after them for disagreeing with you. How many tribe members made comments, people who are medical professionals, so nurses, doctors, CNAs, maybe they're just helpers in the medical community. How many people, I counted at least like half a dozen or a dozen comments from people who claim to be medical professionals who were saying things like, yeah, something didn't seem right, but I didn't want to say anything. But your community is not toxic, Kim. Professionals in the medical field, and even they won't say anything against you. Why is that? Because you have people too afraid to speak out against you because of how you act, because you're very, very mean. You're a mean girl with a platform, Kim, and you don't want to admit to it, and it's fine. You don't have to admit to it. Anyone who watches your live streams and they see how you react, especially in the last few months that this has been going on and being exposed, people have seen the way you react to things. You are a mean girl with a platform with exceptional sales skills. That's exactly what you are. Kim, what you've built for yourself on your Facebook page and elsewhere is a community of yes men and women. People who are going to agree with you no matter what you do. For whatever reason, you have them brainwashed into thinking that your word is gold, and your holier than thou attitude that they worship so much for whatever reason is honestly comical. You are nothing but a mean girl with an okay platform. And people like you are dangerous because of exactly what's been done with this situation, but with what you continue to do on your Facebook platform in selling those overpriced beads and claiming that they cure all sorts of illnesses and they help with all sorts of things. That's dangerous. But of course, you don't think of that because you're the one making the money at the end of the day. So why would you give a fuck about hurting other people when you make a profit off of it at the end of the day? But the funniest comment that I saw from that thread, from that very hurt tribe member that you kind of just bullied into making them apologize to you when you're the one who owes everyone who's donated and all your tribe members apologies. The one comment that sent me into a fit of uncontrollable laughter, Kim, was the one that you say something along the lines of, well, if anyone had any kind of reservations, they could have asked me or Casey. Kim, out of curiosity, do any of the beads that you sell help with being more self-aware? Because holy fuck, did you forget that you have blocked, I would say, at least 50 people that I've noticed in the last few weeks for asking questions or asking you to clarify on what's been talked about in the live stream? I'm sure your block list is pages long because of how many people you have blocked for bringing these concerns to you and Casey. As a matter of fact, just for reference, I'm going to go ahead and just show you guys, put on the screen, the message that I sent to Kim. Here it is. Good morning, Kim. My name is Ashley, and I recently watched a live stream of yours that I had a few questions about. I'm hoping you can clarify a few things. You recently did a live stream with a woman who was asking for financial help with buying gravestones for terminally ill patients who had passed away. I received quite a few messages after the live stream from people who are concerned with this being a charity scam, since little to no information was given and the donations were processed through Cash App. I understand that this involved wards of the state and some things couldn't be said, but there is concern that the money wasn't given over for the gravestones. Full disclosure, I do have a YouTube channel, and I have spoken against unique presenters in the past. Again, your live stream was sent to me by people who thought that the situation was iffy and who wanted clarification. Some were allegedly donators themselves. You both mentioned in the live stream that anyone with any questions could reach out to either of you, so this is me doing just that. I have no ill will towards either of you, and I think that what you both are doing is great for the girls mentioned in the live stream. With that being said, is there any proof that the money went to the proposed purpose? How much was donated, if anything? If you have access to any paperwork that shows any of this information, it would be great if I could have it and use it in a video to put the concerns to rest. You can redact any sensitive information concerning the patients themselves. I'm just looking for the numbers to match up as far as donation and what was spent on the gravestones. I look forward to hearing from you soon. Have a great day. Smiley face. And for reference, this is what Kim says qualifies someone for being blocked. When someone is respectful and kind, there is no need to remind them of a boundary. When I don't have a relationship with the commenter and they say something insulting about my appearance or makeup, I call them out on their words. There is a huge difference. I understand that boundaries make people uncomfortable, and that's okay. She also says this is an open and safe place if you are respectful, kind, and have good intent. When people hide behind fake accounts, become belligerent, and want to accuse, then you're damn right they are shut down. That is not allowed here, period. So, I ask you, Kim, what about my message made you block me? Because I wasn't belligerent. I was very kind. I was very forthcoming. I was being honest. My intent was not to belittle you or do anything mean to you. I literally was reaching out to you to ask for information so I could clear your name because people were accusing you of running a charity scam. So what was my intent in that message, Kim, that caused you to block me like that? To the tribe members, how often did you hear about the girls in her lives prior to the August 22nd live stream? Okay? Think about this. Because Miss Kim was answering questions happily. No one was getting blocked if they asked questions about the girls. She was saying she was FaceTiming them. She even did a live stream dedicated to the girls, which I have right here.
Those of you that have been following me for a while, back in January, I was contacted by a mom that, I'm gonna try to get through this, that her son had been on the, I'm trying to cry, had been on the cancer floor, and he had been battling leukemia. He did end up passing, and she now volunteers on the cancer floor, the pediatric cancer floor, okay? And those girls watch us like a lot, okay? So the girls are 13 through 18, and they watch me, us, all of us, okay? On a regular, hi. They watch us on a regular basis, okay? So she messaged me and said, oh my gosh, on our floor, it's leukemia day. Would you mind doing a look? And these girls are going to, oh, I know, Tracy. And these girls are going to send you a ribbon. And this ribbon is very, very significant. Hi, Sarah. It only goes to people that have made an impact in their lives. And we are retiring this ribbon in your honor. We want you to be the last recipient of this ribbon. And it's still in the mail. It's not here for today. So we're going to pretend that I'm wearing an orange ribbon. Hi, lovers. And then we're going to do a look just for these girls. They are following along with this. I know, Brenda. They're following along with this. They're watching. They're in their recliners. They've purchased them little makeup palettes. So they're going to follow along with us.
So you've seen all that. Now, look back to the last few months since this story has kind of blown into what it is right now. How often do you see her talking about the girls now? How often do you see her answering questions or referencing them, talking about Casey at all? If your answer was not at all, you're correct. Tribe members, I'm asking you to please use common sense. In my opinion, honestly, guys, I feel like this has been something that's been built up by these two for months. Again, just my opinion, this was clearly, to me, a tag team effort because the paper trail of evidence that Kim has created over the last few months, mixed with now the very easily debunked claims that Casey had made in the live stream, they all paint a very clear picture of lies, bullshit, and deceit. Casey had this story about her son unfortunately passing away, how she's spending all the rest of her time now devoting herself to volunteering, helping these in absolute end-of-life care patients who are terminally ill, who are for whatever reason still receiving treatments, who are getting McDonald's breakfast every morning, who are sitting in the same clothes for 3 days on end at this hospital that obviously, according to what she is describing, they're not taking care of these girls. These girls are sweating holes in their clothing like there's some sort of like radioactive mutants or something. Now you have Casey with the story, but you also now have Kim with the platform of thousands of women who have already proven that they are weirdly, eerily devoted to everything Kim says and does. They're buying what she's selling, whatever she says, they eat it up and they take it as gold. They don't question anything that she does. So when she brings Casey and Casey tells her story to these thousands of people, what are they going to do? Say no? Or go against her or question her? No. They're going to shell out the big bucks, and that's exactly what happened. What's even more interesting is that someone from Kim's elite group in Unique reached out to me and said that not once did Kim ever mention this charity to anyone there. Now that seems a little suspicious to me because these elite people are people who are like Kim, who are making the big bucks in Unique. These people are making the most money out of everyone when it comes to the business model of Unique. Now again, I find it very weird that Casey would keep this quiet from her friends and family, and that Kim would keep it quiet from her higher-ups, her fellow elite members, and her friends and family, because they're all obviously very well-to-do on Kim's side. But when it comes to Casey, why would she not tell friends, family members, about what she's doing to raise money for these sick cancer patients? I mean, it's a very noble thing to do, what she's claiming to be doing. So I find it very hard to believe that no one would give in to this kind of a thing if she was truly doing what she's claiming that she's doing. Unfortunately, again, just my opinion, by the time of the August 22nd live stream, Kim had already had her thousands of followers emotionally invested, and some even financially invested into these girls and their well-being. So obviously the perfect storm was that they were going to have this live stream. Casey had the story, Kim had the platform and the followers, and obviously the rest is history, and now here we are. I honestly, in my opinion, think that Kim took a little off the top and they went their separate ways, which is why they were so quickly separated from each other and there was no contact made whatsoever. This could have gone right for them. This could have gone very well for them had they not been dumb. I cannot express to you guys enough how devoted Kim's community is to her. I mean, they eat everything that she sells up. They will believe everything she says about any product, no matter what it is. I mean, look at the crap she's selling with the beads. She claims that these beads help with constipation, help with all sorts of medical conditions that should be diagnosed with a doctor and not someone who sells crappy makeup and bullshit beads for a living. And they still believe her. The tribe members invest big money on everything that she sells on her Facebook, and she endorses it. I mean, this woman could sell these people a tropical island in the coldest part of Antarctica, complete with white sandy beaches, tropical palm trees, coconuts everywhere, bananas, there's dolphins jumping in and out of the water. I mean, she could sell them an idea and they would buy it. And these people are buying hair care products, by the way, from Beau Stegall. You're wondering how you were dragged into this, but it was your facilities, I believe, that they used to film that live stream. You expect people to believe that you had no idea what these two were doing. Not even these two. What these two were doing, along with Jenna, because Jenna was there too. There was other people there. You are all guilty in this. None of you are, hands-free from this. Just letting you guys all know. But moreover, Beau, your products were supposedly sent to these girls for them to use. And conveniently, of course, they were the only products these girls could use because they didn't get any sensitivity issues from using them. And they were also, I'm pretty sure somewhere, I forgot where it was, but correct me if I'm wrong, someone reported that they were actually growing back hair after using your products a few times. That's sick. The last thing I want to say about the situation is this. First and foremost, thank you again to every single person who has come forward, to the presenters who are working alongside Kim and Unique, the people who are closer to Kim and Casey both in their own personal lives. I've heard from so many people, and I honestly greatly appreciate all of you guys being so cooperative and reaching out to me to help debunk all this. Again, thank you so much. But at the end of the day, people will continue to do what you allow. And I'm speaking specifically to the tribe, because you guys are the reason why she still does what she does. I don't know what it's going to take for you guys to wake up and open up and realize that this woman does not have your best interests in mind, but eventually you'll have your aha moment. And fortunately, this situation was a lot of people's aha moment. And I'm hoping that more people I should say, wake up, smell the roses, and realize, hey, maybe I should do my own research into this. I'm not asking you to believe me. I'm not asking you to not believe her. You believe whatever you want to believe. But I feel like I have kind of covered everything, and I've brought forth as much evidence as I possibly could to debunk everything that's been said, alongside the hundreds of people who are also professionals who have commented on my videos, who are medical professionals, people who work with cancer patients, people who work with wards of the state. They've all commented and left their own professional knowledge on the situation. So I feel like it's all been covered pretty, perfectly, in my opinion. All I'm asking you to do is use your common sense. With that being said, guys, thank you guys so much for watching. Please subscribe if you're not already, and I will see you guys in my next video. I love you guys so much.